welcome to Dynamite a lot, ladies and gentlemen. Ooh, got a lot of show here. Was it all good? Mostly, yeah. There were some decisions I don't agree with, but in general, it wasn't a bad show. Was not. You could find some stuff in it that you like, but like I said, there are certain things here I do not agree with. Now, CM Punk versus Castor from the Acclaimed. No matter what anybody says, and I've heard more than a few people say the Acclaim is nothing but a piece of garbage, they're jobbers, who gives a damn? These are people, two guys, that are the most seen on AEW TV. They're getting the most exposure, they're getting the most amount of time, and people hate them, which that means they're doing the job. I'm glad to see Castor being allowed to spotlight with CM Punk. Now, was the match good? Here's the thing. You're talking about Castor, who's a good wrestler, dealing with a CM Punk who's been battered and beaten up for the last couple of weeks, the last few months. Punk doesn't look great. Doesn't mean he ain't trying. But clearly he needs some time away and takes a break. He needs some time. Look, the guy is a little younger than I am. He's nearly 50. He's in his mid to late 40s. And he's been beaten up a lot lately. He needs to stay in the back and take a break for nearly 3 weeks to a month. He needs time off. I understand he loves what he's doing now. He's having a lot more fun doing it. He's getting more better respect and getting the storylines he wants. And he's also getting that scratch, baby. He's getting it. Whether you think it's fair or not, he's been brought in to bring in the fans, and the people were cheering their asses off in North Carolina. What was it? Where was it? Columbia, North Carolina, I believe. So he brought them in, even though he looked tanked halfway through the match, due to the fact of all the beating up he's been getting. Because there's a difference between CM Punk when he first started, where he had a lot of energy before he started doing all those bumps, and now dropped a bit down. He needs a little time to rest. Send him home for a few weeks to a month to recover so he can come back up. I do not agree with him working like this constantly. He needs a break a little bit. Yeah, he had a couple of weeks before, but it's not enough. He needs nearly a month. He wins the match. Does this mean anything? No. Not really. But it doesn't mean it's bad. It just is what it is. Now, the next thing, Jay Lethal versus Mox. Now, this is what's interesting for me personally. You got two guys. One has been in the business a very long time in a Jay Lethal, compared to one that's been in business not as long as Jay Lethal, but probably met each other during the Indies. I'm sure they might have met each other at least once or twice. Maybe they may have met each other. When you see this match, good storytelling. I wish there was an actual story behind it, not just throwing a match with Jay Lethal, who obviously is going to be dealing with ROH this Friday, and I have considered about ROH's Supercard. And I'm still considering doing multiverse of matches, then doing WrestleMania, night 1 and 2. I do not know when I will get to the Supercard. Maybe Monday. I'm making this very clear to you guys. I will eventually see Supercard of RH, but I'm just not going to be able to see it unless I don't want to do the multiverse of matches or WrestleMania. I'm doing WrestleMania night 1 and 2. Now I'm doing Impact show on Friday, so there's just no way I'm going to be able to do both Supercard, multiverse of matches, then WrestleMania 1 or 2. Something's got to be cut out and done probably Monday. There will be RH Supercard. I know it'll be late, but hell, what else can I do? And I won't even be able to see NWA. It's not possible for me to see NWA because there'll be too much going on. Way too much. I'm just saying. But it was good to see that they had a good match. Mox didn't want to shake hands much at the first part of the match, but he was willing after he won to shake Jay Lethal's hand. Doing a little sportsmanship. But does this mean a lot towards ROH and Lethal going there. Not really. Not at this moment. It's still way too new. There's still too many questions. We don't even know how this is going to structure the ROH, where, if they're going to be anywhere other than what? The internet? Or are they going to be on YouTube TV? Well, YouTube. Or maybe YouTube TV. I don't know. You guys give me your speculation. I'm not saying where they're going. I'm just saying we don't know. Let's move on. Now, Bryan Danielson versus Wheeler Yuta. This was a very interesting match because Wheeler Yuta got over working with Bryan Danielson. He's not really done anything with Best Friends. He's just been hanging out. By him wanting to join, the Fight Club, I think that's what William Regal talked about. He might be joining that. Leaving the Best Friends, having a feud with Trent, who really doesn't like him, is interesting. Finally, they're doing something with Wheeler. This is good. Was it a good match? Hell yes, it was. It was highly physical. There's certain points where physicality can help a character in wrestling. This we know. Wheeler Yuta, no matter what you say, has always been obviously a decent to good wrestler, but he's had no real reason to be spotlighted in a way that's going to get him over. Best Friends didn't get him over. He was just there. Here, he's showing that he means something, like he wants to join William Regal, he wants to join Moxley, he wants to join Bryan Danielson. He wants to join them, or at least prove that he's worth something. So that and the physicality is now getting his character over. Yes, he hasn't spoken much. Yes, does he have charisma? No. Yes, does he have mic skills? Probably not very much, because we don't hear that much about him on Dynamite or Rampage. You don't talk much. But at this point, at least they are showing him trying to do something. Do something with your wrestlers. At least it's something. And he spits. Kind of like how I am because of my teeth being so damn crooked. He spits in the face of Bryan Danielson when he's about to get beaten. That means something. No matter how you play it, spit in a guy's face, they don't take it well. And he got his face pounded in and he lost. But William Regal made it very clear, and that's one thing Wheeler Yuta needed. He needs a mouthpiece, and William Regal did that for him. He said, Wheeler Yuta showed me something, his determination, how truly good he is for his years. I'm interested now. That's going with a storyline. There you go. Will everyone like it? Let's make this clear. Nope. Many people, particularly some of the people who watch my show, hate AEW, and they'll say it's woke. Well, what do you want? That's nothing I can do. I'm just telling you what it is. But if you're going by really building a story, this is what you get. Now, let's go to FTR versus the Guns. The Gun Club. With the daddy who's freaking 60 years old almost. Guys, I think he's either 59 this year or 60. I'll be 51. He's more than a few years older than I am. The guy looked like he's in his 40s with guns that are bigger than my freaking head. That means something. The guy is a freaking genetic freak. He looks young for his age. Yes, you can see the age in his face and a little bit of anti-M like I got. Unfortunately, can't get in great shape because of my injury. I try to not be mean to myself. I do try to exercise, but I just can't get in great shape because I can't use my leg or my back is properly right. It's still messed up. But this man, who's nearly 60, looks like he's in his 40s, and he works in the ring like mid 40s. No, I'm trying not to put his ass over so much, but seeing how he works in the ring, late 30s, early 40s. That is how he's working. Kind of like a Dustin Rhodes, who's late 30s, early 40s wrestler, even though he's in his 50s like me. I'm just saying, FTR does win, even though there was some complications to Billy Gunn getting in the way, and then you get Wardlow coming out, wanting to get MJF's head on a platter. And MJF is demanding security to literally keep him out, and he's whooping ass until he's overwhelmed by too many security officers. I believe I got one shot. It's in my face. One of the few shots I'm doing here. Tell you guys, this was a decent segment leading to what they're going to be dealing with. When it comes to Wardlow, there's only one thing they can do here that's going to make sense. Stipulation, Wardlow's contract with MJF. The only way this is going to work is that Wardlow's contract must be a stipulation. If he wins his freedom, because MJF will break the contract because he has no interest in breaking it now. He must break it. They must do a stipulation doing it. If they don't, and if they do it on Dynamite or Rampage TV, stupid. They must do it at the pay-per-view. They must. I'm just saying. Now let's go through some of these vid packs and segments. Let's get this one over about Thunderosa dealing with Nia Rose. Let me make this clear. I don't hate Nia. I don't hate Thunderosa. But for me personally, I still say Thunderosa should have won at Revolution and then walked into a hometown of Texas as a champ. She should have. She lost a lot of steam as far as I'm concerned going to a hometown and not already being champ. She should have won it at the pay-per-view and then came in as champ, and they could have drummed up a lot of publicity in Texas and even asked the mayor to present her with the key to the city because she's a Texan native. That would have made something more for Dynamite. That could have been something interesting. No, they let her win there. The next night she gets her moment, and then Thunderosa gets nailed by Nia Rose, who makes it very clear. And I know I'm going out of order when it comes to Nia talking compared to Thunderosa because Thunderosa spoke first. But when you see Thunderosa dealing with Nia Rose, no matter how you feel, is a transitional type of champion. She's going to put people over, and if she does win, she's mostly transitional. She doesn't keep the title very long. She's putting other people over. And that's a problem because she's done it a lot. If it's done once in a while, fine. But you got women on your freaking roster that are working Elevation and Dark. Where are they? I'm not talking about Penelope Forbes. I'm not talking about Bunny. I'm not talking about Anna Jade. I'm not talking about Kai Conchi or Red Velvet or even Jade Cargill. You can't even do anything with Jade Cargill because she's TBS champion and she's about to challenge somebody else. This is where you really needed to have someone from Elevation or Dark be brought up for Thunderosa to eat. Not go up against Nia Rose again, who's dealt with Rio, who's dealt with Sheeta, who's dealt with, now going to be Thunderosa, who's dealt with Britt Baker. No. It should be someone new. Even if it's a debut, it should be someone new. Let Thunderosa eat somebody, or at least 2 or 3 people, before she has any real challenges, before Thunderosa had to deal with Nia Rose, who herself has not been on TV much. It should have been that. Now, Thunderosa, what she spoke about, wanting to be not only a fighting champion, but an all-around greatest champion there is. Well, there's only a few ways it's going to work. Deonna Purrazzo, she currently is holding the ROH title and the Duranus title. The only way she's going to feel like she's valid is that Deonna Purrazzo has to be challenged by Thunderosa for the ROH title, wins that sucker, and if Impact or Deonna Purrazzo is still working again, or better yet, Deonna Purrazzo working with AAA, they believe that Thunderosa should get the title. They talked at AAA. Thunderosa and Deonna Purrazzo for the Duranus title. Then she's going to have the AEW title, the Duranus title, and the Women's OH World Championship title. That is the only way she can fulfill that. The question is going to be, will they do it? You guys tell me. Now, the JAS segment. The Pride and Power coming out and the Eddie Kingston. The fight in the ring and then getting laid out by the the Jericho Appreciation Society showing that they are true sports entertainers. This time around, at least, when it was over, because of the beatdown afterward, because when you had Chris Jericho and the JAS at the interview area saying that nobody's there, trying to pull the curtain saying there's no one there, and you see Ortiz coming out with the sock and the soap, whacking Jake Hager in the face and start fighting with everyone was fine. I had no problem with it. Seeing the beatdown in the ring, fine. I had no problem with it because they have more numbers. It makes sense. And I gotta say, Jake Hager has really gotten cut along with Chris Jericho. I wonder if they're working out together, because Chris changed his body, and now Jake has changed his body, which is good. I'm probably thinking they are working out together. That's a good thing. A good influence for Jake Hager while he's still working and going to do MMA eventually. I think he's supposed to have a match, this coming year or next year? I think he's training for it. I could be wrong. He might not be, but if he is, it makes sense. They will work with someone he knows, that is his friend, they go. But seeing the JAS dominant is fine. But the only problem I wish that AEW work out with Impact is that Ortiz and Santana needs to be LAX. I wish Impact would allow AEW to use the moniker LAX, the Latin American Exchange, and let Eddie, who was really over with the crowd, they were cheering their asses off for him, particularly when he was biting Chris in the head, that he literally is over. I still believe that his time is going to come as a TNT champion. It should, but that's just me. All right, the Adam Cole and Red Dragon segment was wrong. I'm saying it right now. I'm saying it. That mess was stupid. I know everyone else is going to be fine when they're going to say this is great, seeing that they had the good segment, saying that the titles that they took are not stolen. How are you stealing something you know is rightfully yours? Was the segment good? Fine, it was fine. Seeing that they put tape over where Hangman Page and Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy's names were, put tape on it, was fine. I liked it. But the problem is they rushed it. You shouldn't have had Adam Hangman Page there so quickly. You shouldn't have Luchasaurus. You shouldn't have Jungle Boy. You shouldn't have Christian there. They should not have appeared so quickly. Give it another 2 weeks to stretch it out a little bit. Give more time with Adam Cole and the Red Dragons. They should have had more time. They didn't get more time. They rushed this because they wanted to throw the titles right back on to Hangman Page and Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy to say that they had no right to hold them because they stole them. No. They should have been beaten up bad, and they should be gone for a couple of weeks more, and then they come back. Make Adam Cole and the Red Dragons mean more. Have more segments. Beat up on people while they're holding damn titles. That's what it should have been. I'm just saying. Now, what do we got here? She Came. I think that might be the title, particularly after knowing that on her OnlyFans things are interesting. The Owen Hart Foundation tournament, that's going to be for the men and women. Today started with the first... Do I believe this is a good thing? Yes. I am glad to see Owen Hart's wife allowing a promotion to honor her husband, who died so horribly. So tragically. Owen Hart dying the way he did hurt a lot of people, fans and wrestlers alike. Seeing that his wife is willing to allow AEW to do this is beautiful. Seeing that the first slot of the first round, that one person is going to be one of the first people to allow to be in the match, the rounds, is here. Good to see it. And you got the bunny coming out. Not surprised. They always use Bunny because she's been more enthusiastic in the wrestling. She's never been a bad wrestler unless she doesn't care, and then she looks sloppy. Lately, she has not looked sloppy. She's been doing decent work. But then you got Toni Storm, Miss OnlyFan herself, which is fine. I don't really care if she does OnlyFan. I don't care. The woman has the right to do whatever the hell she wants. And here, they let her wrestle a good match, and the crowd was screaming for her. Was it a little dead in certain spots? Yes, I think they didn't know how to respond. There were some people who probably recognized her and some people who did not. But once the cheers started, she was basically screamed for when they realized, is that really her? And that's when they realized who she was and they started cheering their asses off for her. Damn good match. I gotta say this for myself. You got two very beautiful women, and a Bunny and a Toni Storm, each one having something the other one kind of needs. You got Bunny, who got this, but nothing of that. No ass and no thick legs. And then you got Toni Storm that got none of this, but she got ass and some thick ass legs. And if you stuck them together, you would have a woman that many people would be happy to see, that she got boobs, she got thick ass, thick legs, and she can wrestle her ass off and hold a promo. Because that's, both of them can do it when they want to. They can hold promos. They're both damn good looking. They both got bodies men want. So if you stuck them together, you have one hell of a woman. But seeing Toni Storm win was fine. I'm not surprised. She sold well. And that's something that is lost in current pro wrestling. When it was time to get nailed, she took it like a champ and looked like she was stunned. Many don't. Many don't even know how to be able to make themselves look stunned, even though they still have to kick out. Was not bad. Now, let's move on. Final match of the night. Andrade El Idolo versus Darby Allin. Was this a good showing for both of them? Yes. Only one problem. No title, no prestige, just a match, because they kept trying to build up that Andrade was trying to get Darby Allin as his like a cabin boy in a sense. Someone that he hires. And there was nothing that was put on the line here. No stipulation, there's no title, there's just a damn straight match. And I believe they needed it. Not that the match was bad. It was actually pretty good compared to most of the others. Seeing that Darby Allin was smacking the taste out of Andrade's mouth, and Andrade smacked him so hard he looked like he might have knocked a tooth out, was not bad. The match was fine. Did Darby Allin win? No. And that is one of the best things. Darby Allin has been allowed to win a lot, but also lose a lot. It's important that they balance it out. The guy's got 56 wins, I think 19 losses and 1 draw. Fine. It's good to see that they do balance it out. Yeah, he wins a little bit more than he loses, but it makes sense because the crowd loves him so damn much. He sold pretty damn well, but it doesn't mean that he couldn't have done a better job, at least selling a little bit more, because Andrade is 225, and Darby Allin's a little bit lighter than me at 160 something. I'm like 170, 180. So he's a little bit lighter, so he shouldn't be able to get away with so much, but still it did look good. Now, unfortunately, Andrade should have won clean, but he didn't because Butcher and Blade came down. The Private Party came down. The Hardys came down. There was a fight. Andrade got the win through distraction. And there you go. You get what you want. Now, was this a good show? Yeah, it wasn't bad. You'll get most of it you might like. But knowing that a lot of people do not like AEW, they'll find this a stupid show that had nothing in it and it's garbage. But I say that there's generally a solid show, with most of it okay, but there's things, like I said, that I do not agree with. What happened with Red Dragon and Cole should have never happened. What's going on with Thunderosa and Nia Rose? Where are the other women? Where are all these women that keep saying that are there? Where are they? They're on Elevation and Dark. Throw one of them up for her to eat. Come on. I'm not saying for Selena Deeps to wrestle Thunderosa. They've already done it. She's already working with Sheeta. We don't need to see them. We need to see new, fresh meat. They got it. They just got to bring them up to let her eat them. That's just me. And I hope you enjoyed the Zane's View. Please give me a comment below. I will be doing I've been having problems trying to get some stuff done for my apartment because the landlord has not sent anybody here. So I'm hoping that I can do my recording of Impact tomorrow, but because I can't even get my sink in my kitchen sink fixed, and it's leaking, I'm getting a little frustrated. So hopefully I will do my video review. If not, peace.